Hello friends, my name is Ramsu. Today we shall discuss about a topic, the develop schedule process. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future. So this is a very important topic for you. So let's just start, friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, develop a schedule is the process of analyzing activity sequences, durations, resource requirements, and schedule constraints to create a schedule model for project execution and monitoring and controlling. The key benefit of this process is that it generates a schedule model with planned dates for completing project activities. This process is performed throughout the project. Developing an acceptable project schedule is an iterative process. The schedule model is used to determine the planned start and finish dates for project activities and milestones based on the best available information. Schedule development can require the review and revision of duration estimates, resource estimates, and schedule reserves to establish an approved project schedule that can serve as a baseline to track progress. Key steps include defining the project milestones, identifying and sequencing activities, and estimating durations. Once the activity start and finish dates have been determined, it is common to have the project staff assigned to the activities review their assigned activities. The staff confirms that the start and finish dates present no conflict with resource calendars or assigned activities on other projects or tasks, and they thus are still valid. This schedule is then analyzed to determine conflicts with the logical relationships, and if resource leveling is required before the schedule is approved, and baseline revising and maintaining the project schedule model to sustain a realistic schedule continues throughout the duration of the project. Now we shall discuss about the inputs of developer schedule process. The inputs include the project management plan, which includes the schedule management plan. The schedule management plan identifies the scheduling model method and tools used to create the schedule and how the schedule is to be calculated. Then scope baseline, which includes the scope statement. WBS and WBS dictionary have details about the project deliverables that are considered when building the schedule model. Project documents. Project documents include the activity attributes. These activity attributes provide the details used to build the schedule model. Activity list. The activity list identifies the activities that will be included in the schedule model. Assumption log. Assumptions and constraints recorded in the assumption log may give rise to individual project risk that may impact the project schedule. Then the basis of estimates, the amount and type of additional details supporting the duration estimates vary by applying application area. Regardless of the level of detail, the supporting documentation should provide a clear and complete understanding of how the duration estimates were derived. Duration estimates. The duration estimates contain the quantitative assessment of the likely number of work periods that will be required to complete an activity. This will be used to calculate the schedule. Then lesson learned. Lesson learned earlier in the project with regard to developing the schedule model can be applied to later phases in the project to improve the validity of the schedule model. Milestone list. The milestone list has scheduled dates for specific milestones. Project schedule network diagram. The project schedule network diagram contains the logical relationships of predecessor and successor that will be used to calculate the schedule. Project team assignments. The project team assignments specify which resources are assigned to each activity. Resource calendars. The resource calendars contain information on the availability of resources during the project. Resource requirements. The activity resource requirements identify the types and quantities of resources required for each activity used to create the schedule model. Risk register. The risk register provides the details of all identified risks and their characteristics that affect the schedule model. Risk information relevant to the schedule is reflected in schedule reserves using the expected or mean risk impact. Agreements. Vendors may have an input to the project schedule as they develop the details of how they will perform the project work to meet contractual commitments. Enterprise environmental factor. The enterprise environmental factor includes government or industry standards and communication channel, organizational process assets, which includes the scheduling methodology containing the policies governing schedule model, development and maintenance, and project calendars. Now we shall talk about the tools and technique of development schedule process, which includes the critical path method. The critical path method is used to estimate the minimum project duration and determine the amount of schedule flexibility on the logical network paths within the schedule model. Resource optimization. Resource optimization is used to adjust the start and finish dates of activities to adjust planned resource use to be equal to or less than resource availability. Examples of resource optimization techniques that can be used to adjust the schedule model due to demand and supply of resources include but not limited to resource leveling, a technique in which start and finish dates are adjusted based on resource constraints with the goal of balancing the demand for resources with the available supply. Resource smoothing, a technique that adjusts the activities of a schedule model such that the requirements for resources on the project do not exceed certain predefined resource limits. Data analysis. Data analysis includes the what if scenario analysis. What if scenario analysis is the process of evaluating scenarios in order to predict their effect, positive or negative, on project objectives. Simulation models the combined effect of individual project risk and other sources of uncertainty to evaluate their potential impact on achieving project objectives. Leads and lags. Leads and lags are refinements applied during network analysis to develop a viable schedule by adjusting the start time of the successor activities. Leads are used in limited circumstances to advance a successor activity with respect to the predecessor activity, and lags are used in limited circumstances where processes require a set period of time to elapse between the predecessor and successor without work or resource impact. Schedule compression. It includes the crashing, a technique used to shorten the schedule duration for the least incremental cost by adding resources. Fast tracking, a schedule compression technique in which activities or phases normally done in sequence are performed in parallel for at least a portion of their duration. Then project management information system. Project management information system includes scheduling software that expedites the process of building a schedule model by generating start and finish dates based on the inputs of activities, network diagrams, resources, and activity duration. Agile release planning. Agile release planning provides a high level summary timeline of the release schedule based on the product roadmap and the product vision for the product evolution. Now we shall talk about the outputs of this process. This first one is the schedule baseline. Schedule baseline is the approved version of a schedule model that can be changed only through formal change control procedures and is used as a basis for comparison to actual results. It is accepted and approved by the appropriate stakeholders as the schedule baseline with baseline start dates and baseline finish dates. Project schedule. The project schedule is an output of a schedule model that presents linked activities with planned dates, durations, milestones, and resources. At a minimum, the project schedule includes a planned start date and planned finish date for each activity. Schedule data. The schedule data for the project schedule model is the collection of information for describing and controlling the schedule. Project calendars. A project calendar identifies working days and shifts that are available for scheduled activities. It distinguishes time periods in days or parts of days that are available to complete scheduled activities from time periods that are not available for work. A schedule model may require more than one project calendar to allow for different work periods for some activities to calculate the project schedule. Change request. Modifications to the project scope or project schedule may result in change request to the scope baseline and or other components of the project management plan. Project management plan updates, which includes the schedule management plan. The schedule management plan may be updated to reflect a change in the way the schedule was developed and will be managed. Cost baseline, which includes changes to the cost baselines, are incorporated in response to approved changes in scope, resources, or cost estimates. In some cases, cost variances can be so severe that a revised cost baseline is needed to provide a realistic basis for performance measurement. Project document updates, which includes the activity attributes. Activity attributes are updated to include any revised resource requirements and any other revisions generated by developed schedule process. Assumption log. The assumption log may be updated with changes to assumptions in duration, resource utilization, sequencing, or other information that is revealed as a result of developing the schedule model. Duration estimates. The number and availability of resources along with the activity dependencies can result in a change to the duration estimates. If the resource labeling analysis changes the resource requirements, then the duration estimates will likely need to be updated as well. Lesson learned register. The lesson learned register can be updated with techniques that were efficient and effective in developing the schedule model. Resource requirements. Resource labeling can have a significant effect on preliminary estimates for the types and quantities of resources required. If the resource labeling analysis changes the resource requirements, then the resource requirements are updated. Risk register. The risk register may need to be updated to reflect opportunities or threats perceived through scheduling assumptions. So friend, thank you, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you, friends.